Well, good morning or good afternoon or good night, just whenever all you guys in the YouTube world happen to watch this. What's going on? Slade with you from Follow the Fanchers. You know, I say that being funny about the YouTube world, and I know I've kind of changed the times on my videos, and I've moved them back to the mornings. I seem to do better when I post them early in the morning. But I say, you know, good morning to everybody in the YouTube world. You know, it's funny with social media and how it works. YouTubers are not Instagrammers for the most part. Now, some people do it all, but people that are really into Instagram don't do Facebook. People that are really into Facebook are more my dad's age, and they're not into TikTok. And TikTokers, they're probably not into YouTube. However, YouTube is trying with the YouTube shorts to kind of get into the Instagram. I hear airplane. Instagram with the reels, and trying to keep up with TikTok because TikTok's so famous. That's funny because the Fanchers had a TikTok there for a little while. I got a few videos that's got over in the 5, 6, 7, 8 million views, which is crazy because it was just the stuff that we did. And then I didn't have time for TikTok. My neighbor here, he's been bush hogging. But I tell you what we got going on today. So it's time to really getting serious about my elk packing. For those of y'all that never have watched or hadn't followed the channel for a long time, you know, my dad taught me a long time ago that this elk trip, I mean, it only lasts 8, 10 days, something like that. And you know, with an 8, 10 day hunting trip like that, man, it's it'll get here and get there and be gone before you know it. So Dad always instilled in me, you know, the way to make the trip last longer. I've been getting ready for this trip for a couple of months. Well, really, I start getting ready for it, and these next few videos are gonna kind of be elk tutorials, if you will. And I will start. He's gonna have a dove field out there. I can see some stuff he's got planted. First time I've noticed it. But with 28 years of going out west, I mean, I'm not gonna say we got some things perfected, but we pretty much know what's going on. But I start getting ready pretty much the day I head home, and this is how. People always ask, man, how much does a trip like that cost? Well, in 28 years, I've paid as little as, I think the first elk tag I bought in Colorado was probably about $175. The elk tag now, where we're going in New Mexico, is about $700. So, you know, you can spend as much or as little as you want to, but I start saving money the day I come back. I mean, it's hard if you come back and you decide 1st of August, unless you just got deep pockets, which I don't have, that, hey, I'm ready to go elk hunting, and you just got to get your hands on the money. So I start saving the day I get back. And look, I tell people this all the time. The first thing you got to do is make a plan and get in a truck, okay? Second thing is, I don't go on these elk trips to save money. Now, I don't spend the $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 for sure, because I just don't have that. But if I take $3,000 with me on the hunt, I'm not going trying to save money. If it's something I want or something I want to do or whatever, or something I want to spend, or I want to buy a bear tag or try to get an extra deer tag, then we do it. So that's the first thing I'm telling you. Start saving early. Next thing is to get a plan and to make this trip longer. I mean, I make me little notes through the year, or maybe what I needed or that I didn't have. Now, again, it's gonna be different for you guys that are first trying to start. After 28 years, I kind of got my list I know what I want, and it was different when I was going and camping for 7 or 8 days in the high country versus having a little cabin to stay in and stuff like that. So that is definitely different. But that's how you make the trip last longer, is I go ahead and start getting ready pretty much right after turkey season. I start kind of going through my gear. I start thinking about, you know, making my list. Knife, extra knife, sharpener, arrows, what arrows I'm gonna shoot, broadheads, how many do I got, do I have, do I need extra, my bow, sight, rest, quiver. I'm gonna pack all my clothes. I take 2 pair of pants, I take a couple of shirts, I take a pair of long johns. Gotta have a good raincoat, a really good, really good raincoat. That's important. It's gonna rain about every day when you're out there. I always take 2 pair of boots, plus the boots that I wear out there. So I start planning my hunting trip, and I can plan for 2 or 3 months, and it just makes my trip last longer, because man, that 8 or 10 day trip can go like that. And I know guys that, man, 2 or 3 nights before, I got good friends. They get all their stuff, they throw it in a bag, and they're ready to go. That's just not how I choose to do it. So once I get back towards the house, we're gonna sit down. I'm gonna go over a few more things about how to help you start your elk journey. Now look, it ain't too late. I can tell you some places that you can go get in the truck. Season opens September the 1st, and you can go elk hunting. So don't be scared, but it definitely, we'll try to start over this next week, 10 days, to give you a plan of how you and a buddy, or you and your dad, or you and your wife, or you and your son can start planning you an elk trip. And as these videos go on, I'll show you some of my gear. I've already got gear laid out. I got a new pair of boots I'm probably gonna take this year that I got 2 years ago, and I ain't even had them on yet. They're my Sneeze, like I've been wearing for 25 years, but I finally got a new pair. But we'll go over all that. So y'all come on. I can't really name these videos Elk 101, because Corey Jacobson and them have kind of already deemed that. But we're gonna just name these next videos your elk journey and how to start it. So y'all come on, let's Slade and my dad, Phil, y'all will meet him if you hadn't. We'll start talking about how to plan your elk journey, your first elk journey, or your next elk journey. Whew. All right, so I'm back, but you know, just as far as starting this elk tutorial goes, and I'm being real serious. I mean, everybody, you know, I tell people the first thing you got to do is get in the truck, okay? First thing you got to do. And I've had, just this last week, 5 different guys reached out to me this week about, hey Slade, I really want to go elk hunting, or you know, what I need to go elk hunting, or where do I need to go elk hunting. First of all, the first thing you got to do, and I tell people all the time, and I don't mean this funny, you got to get in the truck. Got to get in the truck. And I know, look, people say, well, I got a wedding to go to, or I'm having a baby in so-and-so, or I've already had a baby, or what about work, or what about my wife, or my kids got this football game, or whatever. And I'm not saying they're all not good excuses, because they are, but this is 28 years for Dad and I. Aiden is 20, Ainsley is 8. I've just always managed. Now I've always been blessed to have a good job. I'll tell y'all this, back in my early years, maybe when my don't give a bit was a little bit more than what it is now, I quit 2 jobs because they said, hey, I said, I'm going elk hunting next month. And they said, well, you don't have the days. And I said, well, I'll work up to the day that I do, and then I'm out of here. And one of those companies whenever I got back from my elk trip, they fired me before I went because I said I was going. But then about 2 months later, they hired me. I'm not saying you have to do that, but there's always things that will keep you going, keep you from going, okay? And that's why when I started this video, talked about saving money, I start saving money the day I get back. That way I'm not putting my family in a bind. You know, Julie's not, well, we don't have the money or this, that, and other. And another thing, Julie has always been unbelievable. We were going, I was going elk hunting. I started going in 1996. She and I didn't get married until 2002. So she had known Dad had been going since, I think Dad's first year was in 1981. So anyway, first thing you got to do in the elk tutorial from Follow the Fanchers is get in the truck. Have a game plan. Now, please, again, don't take this the wrong way. I do like to have a game plan. I really do. But there's not as much public land out there as it used to be as far as where you can buy a tag across the counter, but there's plenty of it. You don't have to have a plan set in stone. Have you a semi-plan? Have you a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, and a plan D in case A and B don't work whenever you get out there? But plan, and then again, get in the truck and go out there and go elk hunting. People say, well, I don't know anything about it, or I got to learn. You learn the same way we do. Turkey hunters, if you're a turkey hunter, you're hunting a big turkey. And I say that lightly, okay? They are different than a turkey, okay? The old saying about elk are where you find them. Elk are not like deer. They don't bed right here and feed right here and back and bed right here. The reason I say they're like turkeys is they bugle, a turkey gobbles, you find them, you hunt them, you call them, they respond. So that's really about the only way that they are like a turkey. They can smell. So get in the truck, start saving your money day one and have a plan. But don't let that plan, if that plan gets messed up, don't let it mess you up. I start writing down of stuff that I need. I kind of went over it a while ago. I always take 2 or 3 knives. Fixed blade knives. I like one knife that's, and I'll show you all this. I like one knife that's got a real long blade for deboning. I keep a couple knives in my pack. I always take a real good sharpening stone. Now, the last few years, since whenever we started selling the knives that you change the blades out, like the, you know, whether it be the Havalon or the Outdoor Edge, I love those knives. There's a lot to be said for being able to take that blade out and putting you a new blade on there. So I love those knives. I said a while ago, and I can't stress it enough, a good Gore-Tex raincoat, okay? I don't really fool with the rain pants. Y'all saw in my video last year. If you don't, go back and watch it. I was in a awful thunderstorm, and a thunderstorm at 10,000, 11,000 feet is a lot different than it is down here at 400 feet above sea level. It's just different. Get you a good raincoat. I always take a couple of pair of boots. I hunt in one pair of boots in the morning, different pair of boots in the afternoon, and we'll go over all that in this whole little elk tutorial. So that's kind of what I'm going to do the next 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 videos, okay? We're going to go over the whole elk tutorial and kind of how we started, and I'll try to go have a video with Dad. I'll show you my gear, all my clothes. You'd be surprised I take very little, okay? Very little. You sweat out there, but it's not like it is here. You see how wet I am from my walk today? It's different out there. You get hot and sweaty, it's gone in 5 minutes. No humidity, super dry. I don't take a lot of clothes. I used to pack way too much. You find out you never use. The main thing I have plenty of is socks and underwear. My other stuff, my long johns and my undergarments and stuff like that, I rewear the same pants, same shirts every single day. So you'll see all that. You're going to see my bow. I got the new V3X last year. You'll see my air set up, my sight, my rest, my quivers, my broadheads. I've been shooting the same broadheads. Probably the last 6 or 7 bulls I've killed have been with Ram Camp broadheads. I've had really good luck with them. I'm a big micro diameter arrow with 1.66s. I only shoot 47 pounds, 50 pounds. I really think the small diameter arrows has contributed to some of my success as far as getting pass-throughs on bulls. But all that you'll see. I'll talk about the truck we go in and kind of how we plan the trip. You know, do a lot of people, do you drive it straight through? Do you stop and spend a night? As we've gotten older, we stop a night and spend the night going. Lots of times on the way back, straight back. I'll talk to you about what I take to eat, kind of our grocery list and all that. So we're going to go over the Follow That Fancher's elk tutorial over the next week or 10 days, lead us up into elk season, and then y'all will get to see the elk hunt. But appreciate y'all following the Fanchers. God bless. Jesus saves, and we'll see y'all on the next one.